Your brain is playing tricks on you every single day, and you don't even know it. Here's the thing. Our attention spans have dropped from 2.5 minutes to just 47 seconds, and it's directly tied to how we use our phones and social media. Every single time you reach for your phone when faced with a challenging task, you're not just procrastinating. You're actually building neural pathways that train your mind to choose escape over comfort every single time. There's a hidden psychology behind why we choose Netflix over our dreams, why we scroll instead of starting that project, and why distraction has become our default response to any growth opportunity. And I'm about to reveal the mental patterns that successful people recognize and eliminate, starting with pattern number 1, the emotional escape trap. Let me show you exactly how this works. Believe me, you're going to want to check this out. But first, hey everyone, I'm Jay with Life Next Level, and you're watching my YouTube channel, perhaps listening on my podcast, which I'm just starting because why not? Anyway, we're here weekly and in some cases daily to help you get unstuck, change your mindset, and get motivated and start to live a life that you love. Don't we all want and deserve that? So hit that subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to this. So let's talk about the emotional escape trap. Imagine this. You're sitting at your desk and you're ready to tackle that presentation that is pretty awesome and could change your career. Your laptop's open, your notes are ready, and then it happens. Your brain practically screams at you to check Instagram first, just for a minute, just to see what's happening. But here's what's really going on. This is not procrastination. This is your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, triggering a stress response because challenging tasks feel threatening to you. Your brain is wired to protect you from uncomfortable feelings. When you face a challenging task, emotions like fear, anxiety, self-doubt, they flood your system. And look, your amygdala, it doesn't care about your career goals. It just knows that opening that presentation feels threatening. Isn't that crazy? So what it does is it offers you an escape route. Check your phone. Watch a quick video. Anything to avoid those scary feelings, even if for a second. And here's the crazy part. Studies show social media use spikes dopamine, giving temporary relief from anxiety. Your brain learns that distraction equals relief. So each time you use distraction for relief, your brain learns to prefer it over facing those difficult emotions. And of course, this creates a dangerous cycle. You become dependent on distractions to regulate your feelings, and your brain starts reaching for them automatically whenever growth opportunities appear. But here's something even more sneaky that's happening that most people never recognize. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. That sneaky thing is digital noise as procrastination camouflage. That is a mouthful. I am big guilty of this one. And I bet you as I go through it, you might be too. I think a lot of people are. We have gotten brilliant at using educational content as an escape route. Instead of writing that first chapter of the book you've always wanted, we research writing techniques. Instead of starting that workout you've been wanting to start for a while, we watch fitness videos. Instead of making that sales call, we consume more content about sales strategies. Our brains love this trick because consuming information feels easier than creating something new. Here's why this happens. Taking action means risking failure. Learning about something, however, it feels safe. Your brain gets a hit of satisfaction from gaining knowledge without that vulnerability of actually trying. And this creates what Cal Newport, if you've heard of him, calls attention residue. When you're constantly switching between consuming content and trying to work, your focus gets scattered and quality of all of it suffers. Think about students who spend hours reading study materials, but never start writing that essay. They feel productive because they're learning, on one hand, right? But they're really avoiding all the scary work that really matters at the end of the day. And this type of procrastination is super dangerous because it feels responsible. You feel accomplished. You tell yourself you're being smart by learning more first. But there's a difference between genuine preparation and procrastination, disguised as productivity. Real learning prepares you for action. Fake learning replaces action entirely. And here's what makes this pattern even more destructive. Your brain is becoming addicted to this constant stream of information. And that leads us into this next talking point, which is the stimulation prison. So this camouflage we just discussed creates what I call the stimulation prison. Your brain now needs constant entertainment just to function normally. You can't sit in silence for 5 minutes without reaching for your phone. You can't drive without music or podcasts. You can't eat without watching something. This dependency is rewiring your neural pathways to resist growth. Studies compare dopamine tolerance to addictive patterns. So basically, your brain develops tolerance to stimulation just like substance dependencies. So crazy. What used to excite you now feels boring. Normal life becomes unbearable without constant input. You need bigger hits of dopamine to feel satisfied. This makes the slow process of personal growth feel terrible. And growth, my friends, takes time. That's the unfortunate part. Nobody has the patience, and growth takes time. It requires patience. It means sitting with discomfort and uncertainty, which, damn, is hard to do, right? Even harder now. Because your stimulation-dependent brain interprets these challenges as threats. It screams for immediate relief. It wants quick wins and instant results. And this keeps you locked in a fixed mindset. You avoid anything that doesn't provide immediate satisfaction, that immediate dopamine hit. You quit when progress feels slow. You choose easy entertainment over hard work. Breaking free requires learning to tolerate boredom. And research shows that this reduces the brain's instant gratification triggers. Try this, all of you at home. Turn off all notifications for 30 minutes and notice how your mind reacts. The discomfort you feel reveals something deeper about why change feels so threatening. Now, let's talk about your comfort zone addiction exposed. That threat response you just felt, if you did what we just talked about, it reveals your comfort zone addiction. Your brain is literally designed to keep you safe, small, and unchanged. Your nervous system doesn't care about your dreams or your potential. It just wants you alive and comfortable. When you face a new challenge, again, your amygdala, it interprets it as potential danger, and it triggers fight or flight. Your heart races, your palms sweat, you feel anxious, you feel overwhelmed. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex tries to rationalize what you should do to avoid this challenge entirely. This isn't weakness, so don't take it as that. It's your survival system literally doing its job. But here's where it gets dangerous. We create elaborate justification system to stay comfortable, to stay in our small comfort zones, to stay in our cell. You tell yourself you're not ready yet. You need more time, more money, more experience. Research from Yale shows that fear of failure drives most procrastination. And these excuses, they feel logical, right? Based off everything we just talked about, they feel logical. They're just keeping you in your comfort zone, and that's just your comfort zone pulling you back in, keeping you safe. Every single time you choose comfort over growth, you strengthen those neural pathways that keep you stuck. Your brain learns that avoiding challenges is the right choice. You're comfortable. You're not dying out there. Each avoided opportunity makes the next one feel that much harder, even more impossible. Here's the liberating truth that I want you to key in on. Discomfort during growth isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you are doing something right. But there's a specific pattern you need to recognize about what happens every single time you avoid growth. So let's talk about breaking the avoidance cycle. Here's the pattern you need to recognize. Every time you avoid a growth opportunity, Each escaped challenge increases the anxiety around the next one, creating a compound effect that makes your world progressively smaller. So it's a cycle that now every opportunity for growth stresses you out more and more. Even small ones that maybe 5 years ago didn't stress you out, you find yourself being stressed out over them. Why is that? This is why. If you recognize that pattern, that cycle, and that cycle creates a false identity based on limitations rather than potential. And I don't want you to be based on limitations. I don't want to be based on limitations. You start defining yourself by what you can't do instead of what you could become. And man, I see so many people in this cycle, but we can break it. That said, breaking this cycle requires conscious intervention and deliberate discomfort. So you're going to have to get ready. So does growth. And we all want some growth, right? If you're watching this, you want growth. Here's how to catch yourself in avoidance mode. Notice, really notice. Be conscious as you're going through these. Whenever you make excuses or reach for distractions. When you feel that familiar urge to escape, when you want to grab your phone just to check Instagram for a little bit, when you want to, I should learn a little bit more quick before I do this, try surfing the urge. Wait 10 seconds, then consciously choose one small growth action instead of running away. This pause literally breaks the pattern. It's pattern interruption. It's just 10 seconds, but it breaks the pattern. And if you then do one small thing to advance rather than that distraction, you break it and you're starting to grow again. You're breaking that pattern. You're getting to where you need to be. You can retrain your brain to seek growth opportunities instead of avoiding them. Use techniques like the Pomodoro technique, which I use at work. It structures focused work intervals, distraction-free, and it makes single tasking the path of least resistance in the moment. Start small, build momentum, and each time you choose growth over comfort, you strengthen new neural pathways. But here's what most people miss. Individual willpower can only get you so far. The real breakthrough happens when you stop fighting your environment and start designing it to work for you. Here's a key: creating growth, forcing environments. The solution lies in strategic environmental design. If willpower isn't enough, which it often isn't, we need to design these environments to make growth inevitable, not just possible, and distraction impossible. Your surroundings control your behavior way more than you realize. So successful people, they don't just rely on motivation. They create systems that force them into their growth zones. They remove escape routes and make focused work the path of least resistance. Start with your physical space. Clear away clutter. Get that out of here. Organize your tools. Create a workspace that promotes order and control. A messy environment creates cognitive load that drains your mental energy before you even start working. One study participant increased their deep work from 3 to 6 hours daily simply by removing their phone from their desk. I know that seems like a lot, but have you had those days? I'm sure you have. Just get that phone out of there. I put my phone out for hours at a time if I have to be heads down because it's a constant source of distraction. Look, I love a smartphone. It helps me a lot, but it also is a constant source of distraction. Next, design your digital environment. Use apps like Forest or Focus at Will. There's some other ones out there too, and they block distracting websites and applications. Put your phone in another room, like I just mentioned. Turn off all notifications. Some people I know, they do the, I can't remember what it's called, but just a black and white screen. They take the color out of their screen all the time. Not just at certain hours. I do it at certain hours. They do it all the time. They find they don't want to do things on it as much. So what you want to do is create a physical separation between yourself and your escape routes. Build accountability systems by telling people about your goals and making your commitments public. Social pressure becomes a powerful force for growth when you use it strategically. When your environment aligns with your goals, discipline becomes automatic. But there's something even more powerful than changing your environment. So let's expand upon that to mental discipline mastery. This is your new superpower. Some of them are pretty easy and they don't seem like they work, but they do. I use these tactics almost daily. and have had to at times when I'm just going through stuff and I'm getting in that, it's so easy to get distracted right now. First, train your focus by breathing through anxious moments for 30 seconds instead of grabbing your phone. This one is awesome. This simple practice just rewires your brain to handle the discomfort without escaping into distractions. So it's hard internally at first, but it becomes easier. Start reframing difficult tasks as opportunities to build strength. Instead of thinking, this is hard and I hate it, try, hey, this effort is making me stronger and I'm learning a lot. Research by Carol Dweck, I'm sure you've heard her name, it shows that praising effort over talent builds resilience. Each challenge becomes a chance to prove to yourself that you can handle more than you ever thought. Practice specific mental training techniques that build tolerance for that discomfort. When you feel anxious or uncertain, just notice the feeling without judging it. Without judging it is a very key part there. We often judge ourselves too harshly. Just notice it, don't judge it. Breathe deeply and stay present with the emotion instead of escaping into distractions. This builds the capacity to handle difficult feelings. Stretch and refocus your mind when things get overwhelming. These mindfulness practices, they help you regain control and build mental resilience over time. And it's key. Anyway, start with small challenges and build momentum. Face one uncomfortable task each day, right? Small, it's all about small steps, baby steps, but do it every day. Face one uncomfortable task, no matter how small. Make that phone call you've been avoiding. Have that difficult conversation. The Yale study we mentioned before shows that structured routines reduce procrastination by creating predictable patterns of action. Mental discipline is a learnable skill that gets stronger with practice, just like our procrastination gets stronger, which we don't even realize. It just happens easily. Mental discipline is a learnable skill. We can get better. We can start avoiding those distractions. Seems weird avoiding a distraction, but we can start getting rid of those distractions altogether. There's one uncomfortable state that most people desperately avoid, yet it holds the key to breakthrough thinking. Your boredom as your growth catalyst. Yes, that state is boredom. And it's actually the birthplace of all your biggest breakthroughs. I mean, have you ever been in a shower and you think of an answer to the question that you had days ago or yesterday? You're in the shower, finally not thinking about anything because we're always thinking about shit. There's always stuff up here. There's always distractions if it's not up in our brain. Sometimes you hit a shower, you're like, the day's over. Wait, eureka. I have an answer to that question, right? And that's because you're bored. Your mind actually gets to work its magic. That's why the subconscious is so big. And a lot of people use their subconscious very smartly at night when they're sleeping because your brain's still working on stuff. So every time, like what we do is we fill our quiet moments all the time. We need those distractions. But every time you fill a quiet moment with your phone, with any distraction, you're stealing from your future self. Your brain's not allowed to do its job. And I'm just as guilty of this as the next person, but I'm working on it. It's so easy to stay distracted in this life. Our fear of boredom keeps us from accessing our most innovative thinking. We panic when our minds aren't preoccupied. We reach for distractions the second we feel unstimulated. But those boring moments are when your brain does its best work. When you're bored, your brain activates the default mode network, where real insights and self-discovery really happen. Research shows that mind-wandering and idle moments sparks creativity by allowing your brain to make connections between ideas that you've had and generate solutions that aren't possible when we're always focused on external tasks. Learning to sit with boredom develops mental strength for any meaningful pursuit. It teaches you to tolerate discomfort without escape. Transform your boring moments into opportunities for planning and reflection. The next time you find yourself bored, try reflecting for just 2 minutes. Just start with 2 minutes on one big goal before you're scrolling. Ask yourself important questions. Let your mind wander and explore, and then maybe start to expand that a little bit. Embracing boredom is actually embracing your untapped potential. Those uncomfortable quiet moments contain your next big breakthrough. So as I wrap this up, here's what this means for your choices that you make every single day. Every choice you make either strengthens distraction patterns or builds growth habits. Every distraction you eliminate is a vote for the person you're becoming and you want to become. Every moment of discomfort you embrace is building the life you actually want. Right now, I want you to identify your biggest distraction pattern. Is it social media? Is it Netflix? Is it endless research without action? I mean, I've been on all of them. Mine is probably the endless research, but hey, I've definitely used social media and Netflix as a distraction. And hey, this isn't to say you can't watch Netflix, right? Just set times. Just don't do it out of complete boredom. Same with social media. So pick one and commit to changing it today, whatever that distraction is. Look, you're not giving up distractions. You're choosing growth. That choice will define everything. A large-scale study on growth mindset impacting schools shows that students who embrace challenges as opportunities learn the equivalent of 33 extra days compared to those who avoid them. Your future self is waiting for you to make this decision. These 8 patterns, from emotional escape to boredom avoidance, keep most people stuck. But now you know how to break free. If this helped you recognize your own patterns, hit that like button and subscribe for more research-backed strategies on mastering focus and building the life you want to build, that you want to live. Your brain is building the life that you